Hi everyone, welcome back to Smarta.
With Marta.
And we are now filming our last 2 lessons on Smarta with Marta before the summer break.
Because it's almost summertime.
This week, summer holiday starts next week.
Yeah. So we wanted to shout out everybody.
Everybody in Divisions 12 and 13.
Everybody.
And I guess anybody else listening from other classes.
Because we do know some other kids are watching. So we just wanted to give you a shout out for learning to do subtraction through videos. Because it's one of the hardest things that we teach in grade 2. Mm-hmm. And even when we teach it in the classroom, it's really hard. And the benefit of being in the classroom is I can see you, or Mr. Marty can see you. You can ask us questions. We can see what you get. We can help you with the little pieces you don't get. We can practice every day. But when we just do a video and kind of leave you to your own devices, that's hard.
It is very hard because we can't tell in the video if we should slow down, go over something again, speed up, or pause and ask for questions and confirmation of understanding.
And we do argue about it all the time.
All the time.
Mr. Marta's like, we need to go faster. We need to do more. And I'm like, we need to slow down.
So we're
going too fast.
We kind of meet in the middle.
So hopefully that's working. Anyway, we wanted to shout out to all of you because you have been working very hard. If you are here watching this video, that means you've watched like
37. Yeah, 30, this is 37, so 36, yeah.
So you've already watched 36 videos. You're going to watch the next 2, and you are working hard to learn subtraction, which is very hard. So
if you fall into that category, you've watched from video 1 in math all the way now to this filming number 37, you are amazing.
We're giving you a virtual high five. Ready?
I'll give you a high 10. I'll give you a high 10.
Now we're giving you a high 20.
20. High 40.
High 40. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that was a little bit
No, we're
weird.
shout-outs first. Well, that was shout-outs.
That was the shout-out.
Okay, I guess I'll do jokes now.
Jokes. You can go first.
Owen wrote a few jokes for us, and Mrs. Martin and I both liked this one that he wrote from us the best of the ones he wrote for us. Owen says, what did the cow say to his mom?
I don't know. What did the cow say to his mom?
Moom.
Good one, Owen. And I have one last video joke from George.
Is it George?
It's George and his sister Betty. So thank you, Betty, for helping him out.
A new edition.
We are going to put the video here.
I heard a T-Rex jump higher than a tree. Well, of course it did, because trees don't jump.
Hi, boys and girls. We're here for math lesson number 37. But before we get to that, Mrs. Marta and I wanted to show you 2 pictures of Rocky. We've been talking about Rocky throughout the year. Rocky was our puppy, our dog we had for 16 years. And unfortunately, he died many years ago. We miss him a lot.
He lived a long
life.
But
he lived a long life. And you often like seeing pictures of Rocky and hearing stories about Rocky. So we decided to show you 2 pictures before we leave for summer break. The first one is a picture of Mrs. Marta and Rocky in our kayak. And yes, that's right, Rocky had his own life jacket. And the second picture is one of Mrs. Marta's favorites for a memory about Rocky eating his birthday cake. And you're not supposed to give people food to dogs, but Rocky liked his sweets. And so every year we gave him 1 slice of birthday cake and he chowed it down super duper fast.
One year he was so worried that he wasn't going to get the cake, that we were going to take it away, that he ate it all in one bite. He put the whole piece of cake in his mouth
and
at one
swallowed
time.
it. But that's still one of my favorites, the kayak picture. I think both Rocky and Mrs. Marta are so cute in that picture. Anyways, on to math, boys and girls. So for our last math lesson, we are going to do kind of a review, but it's going to be your choice on your own eventually.
Right. So we wanted to show you the different strategies, and what we decided to do is show you with the questions what our favorite strategies are, and then teach you a new one.
A bonus one.
It's top secret.
Top secret.
We're not supposed to teach you this one.
So there's lots of different strategies you could use to solve 47 plus 89, and you might not use partitioning or expanded form. You may use a different one, but Mrs. Marta likes partitioning, and I like expanded form, so we're going to demonstrate those right now.
Yeah, so I'm going to start with partitioning. So you'll see we have the question written this way. It doesn't matter if it's this way or if it's stacked up. It's the same question. You can do it. When I'm doing partitioning, I find it easier if it's stacked up first.
Me as well.
So when I do partitioning, the first thing I do, I'm going to stand up a little bit, is I break it into parts. So I take 47 and I break it into parts.
I'm just going to
40
make sure you can see the camera.
plus
See the math.
7. Can you see that, Mr.
Yep,
Marta?
keep going.
Okay, then I take my second number and I break it into parts. That's why it's called partitioning. 80 plus 9. Then I draw my equals line, and now I add my tens. I have 40 plus 80, 4 tens and 8 tens. Well, 4 and 8 is 12, and 0 is 0. And then I add my ones. I have 7 and 9. That's a 9 and, like a 10, take 1 away, 16. Now, some of you can add that up in your head right like that. I like to break it up. So what makes 16? 10 and 6. So I go 120 plus 10 more is 130 plus 6 equals 136.
But they don't have to break it up, do they, Mrs. Marta?
No, you don't have to do this part here. If you can do that part in your head, do that. The goal is for this to be as much as you can in your head. So go through the steps, and when the steps get easy, you might be able to start doing parts of it in your head.
Now we'll switch spots. Mrs. Marta will watch to make sure I'm not blocking your view of the lesson, and I'll go on to expanded form. Expanded form is my favorite for addition. I do it in my head all the time with expanded form. It's my ultimate favorite. So we have 47 plus 89. So we start in the tens column. We work left to right. We start in the tens column. There is 1, 0, and a 10. How many tens do we have? 8 plus 4 is 12. So we have 12 tens. Some of you might have went, I have 40 plus 80 is 120. That works as well. Go to the ones column. 9 plus 7, as Mrs. Marta talked about, one of our easy make tens. Throw one down there and you get 16. 9 plus 7 is 16. Then all you have to do is add your columns up. 0 and 6 is 6. 2 and 1 is 3. 1 and nothing is 1. So you notice we get the same answer. Is one better than the other? No, it's whatever one you like best.
Whichever works for you.
And you might switch with different questions.
Okay, so now we're going to teach you algorithm.
Come over here, Mrs. Marta.
Algorithm is the way that we learned to add when we went to school. And your parents probably learned to add this way too. And your parents might even have taught you to do this already. We don't normally teach it in grade 2 because...
To be honest, it's a great strategy for getting the answer, but it doesn't teach good number sense. Meaning that
it doesn't help you build your mental math, and it doesn't help you estimate, and those are two really important skills.
Exactly.
However, sometimes I use this if I'm in a hurry. Now, that's okay, because I'm already good at this.
Exactly.
I'm good at mental math, and I am good at estimating, so it's okay if I use this sometimes. I wouldn't use it for a number this small.
No.
If I was going to use it, it might be like...
multiple numbers.
Yeah, like 12,340 plus 697 plus 8,560. And then that's a pretty fast way to do that.
And to be honest, even though Mrs. Marta and I both used, or this is the only strategy we were taught as kids.
Yeah.
And as adults, we became familiar with this other forms of math, and this made us better mathematicians. Now we can do it all in our head. So I never use algorithm in regards to mental math because it's not really possible.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. If you give me this question, for example, I know the answer by looking at this, doing it in my head mentally, even though it's right there, is 136. I can just do that doing expanded form in my head. Mrs. Marta can do that using partitioning in her head right away, faster than we could do it even using the algorithm method. Now, where was I going to go with that, Mrs. Marta? I lost my train of thought, but I'll probably come back to it later.
Okay.
Mr. Marta, brain
I
goes
can't
all
read
over
his
the
mind.
I'll go
So
over
we're
the
going to
place.
show you how to do this. I know what he was going to say. He was going to say, normally if I had a bunch of big numbers like that, I would just use my calculator on my phone.
That's exactly what I was going to say. See how good she is? See, to me, algorithm is a thing of the past. It's a great strategy. It's actually how computers do their math, but our brains as humans are faster than computers if we work the opposite direction. Expanded form, partitioning, all those kind of things. If I come across a question that is very large numbers, it's hard for me to do mentally, honestly, I'll grab my phone and I'll have to plug them in. That's faster than algorithm.
But what if you don't have your phone?
But if you don't have your phone, then I'd probably use algorithm. right away to solve a long
But
one.
only if it was like a lot of big numbers.
Exactly. If anything like this, 3 digits, even 4-digit numbers, add the 4 digits, I'll instantly in my head expanded form right away.
Like an example would be like when we take a trip, sometimes we take a lot. We take the plane, we take the bus, we stay in hotels, we go out to restaurants. And if I want to find out how much money I spent, that's a lot of big numbers. It would take me a long time to do it like this. So I would just use my calculator.
And you're grabbing numbers from different areas.
If I didn't
Calculator
have
works
my
better.
calculator in that case, I would use algorithm.
Mrs. Marta's old like me. When she says calculator, she means phone.
Well, it's called the calculator on your phone.
It is true.
Okay, let's show them how to do it.
I'll make sure in frame 1, 2, the first one.
All right. So when you do algorithm, it's different than the other math. We don't start in the tens. We start in the ones.
And that's why it's not good for estimating and
That
not good
is
for mental math.
Not good for estimating. So what I do is I add 7 and 9 and I get 16. Now I can't put the whole 16 down here. I can only put 1 digit. So if you see the number 16, you can see that the 6 is on this side. So I put the 6 down here and the 1 up here. It's like I wrote 16, but I just split it up.
Because the number 16 is actually a 10 and a 6. So you move the 6 in the ones column and move that 10 to the tens column.
Now I add this up. 1 and 4 is 5 and 5 and 8 is 13. But remember, I can only put 1 digit. So imagine I have 13.
13 tens.
Yes. So I have to put 1 digit down. So I put the 3 down and I put the 1 over in the hundreds column. And now I just add this up. 1 and nothing is 1. So you can see I got the same number. And you can see how I did it, and you can see that it works.
And it's a great strategy. It's a very fast strategy. But if you only did algorithm, if you looked at this, boys, my fear of showing you this, can you help me? This is Marty. It's caught between there. Number 2. My fear of showing you these showing you the algorithm method, boys and girls, you're like, wow, that's so fast. And you're right, it is on paper, it's so fast. But the problem is if you only do algorithm, your mental math will not develop and you'll be reliant on paper or your phone.
And when your mental math is not good, if you make a mistake, if you mix up and you get the answer wrong, you're not going to know what's wrong. That's why you need to be able to estimate. Because if I put... Sorry, can you show that again?
Yeah.
If I switch the digits and put the wrong one down there, yes.
Yep.
If I did 47 plus 89, and I did 7 and 9 is 16, and I put the 1 down and the 6 here, and 6 and 4 and 8 is 18, and I put the 1 here, I don't really have any way to know that 811 is not even close. But when I do it like this, I know it's going to be pretty close to 120. If I had 811, I would be like, wait a minute, I messed up somewhere.
And that's the advantage of doing expanded form partitioning, learning left to right. That will make you a great mathematician and be able to do mental math.
So then you're probably asking, why are you even showing us this? We want you just to have a lot of strategies. In case you run into a situation where you have a lot of big numbers and you don't have a calculator, we want you to know how to do this.
And like we said, it is very fast. However, please get really good at these throughout grade 3 and grade 4 and grade 5, and then you'll be a rock
This
star in
feels
math.
like a lot of talking.
I know it is.
Okay,
I love
we're
to talk.
we're gonna talk less and do math more. So right now, you either have your whiteboards or you have your own piece of paper, and you are doing this with us. So if you know, oh, Mr. Marta just about pulled my microphone out. If you know how to do partitioning, zoom ahead while I'm doing it. So the first thing I do is I break 63 into 2 parts, 60 and 3. And now I break 78 into 2 parts, 70 and 8. I put my equals line. 60 and 70 is 130. 3 and 8 is 11. I like to break that up into 10 and 1. I have 130 and 10 more is 140 and 1 more, 141.
Tag team.
Go, Mr. Martin.
On to my expanded form, boys and girls. We're in the tens column. There's 1, 0 to 10. How many tens do we have? 6 plus 7 is 13. So far we have 130. We know the answer is going to be pretty close to 130. We go to the ones column. 8 plus 3 is 11. Add those columns up. 0 and 1 is 1. 3 and 1 is 4. and bring that 1 down for 141.
Look at that. We got the same answer.
Excellent.
Okay, Mr. Marta, show us how to do algorithm.
Okay, algorithm. Algorithm, you don't start on the left, you start on the right. Okay? We start in the ones column. 8 plus 3 is 11. I put this over here what my brain is thinking. I see 11, but I can only leave that last digit in the ones column. It's a 1 and a 10, so that 10 goes over the tens column. Now let's add these. 1 plus 6 is 7. Hold that in your head. 7 plus 7 is 14. 14 tens. It's 140. But I got to leave. Don't get confused with that 0 there, boys. You'll put the 0 there. We have 14 tens. We leave the 4 there. And that 100 goes to the hundredths column. It carries forward. 1 comes down. 141.
So, Mr. Martin, when I'm doing algorithm, I don't even think about it being 14.
140, you mean?
I don't think about it being 14 tens. I just think about 14. Otherwise, I get mixed up. That's another problem with algorithm. It's easy to get mixed up.
Algorithm can really mix you up, and it gets even more confusing in subtraction.
All right. So we're going on.
Speaking of subtraction.
Subtraction.
Let me help you, Mrs. Marta. Got him pinned.
So if you're on a whiteboard, you can erase it. We're starting a new question, and we're going to
go first this time.
do our favorite strategy. So Mr. Marta's favorite strategy is expanded form, so he's going to go first.
Mrs. Marta has his cap here. There we go. So expanded form, we're in subtraction now. And in subtraction, we got 4 strategies. We're going to start with expanded form first. So just like in addition, subtraction expanded form, we start on the left. So we're in the tens columns. We know we have 1, 0, and a 10. How many tens are we going to be left with? We had 8. We have to take away 4. Well, 8 minus 4 is 4, so I'm left with 4 tens. I go into the ones column. I run into a bit of a problem. 4 take away 7. I can't do that, so I know the answer is going to be negative. Because that negative 7, that 7's a greater value than the 4, negative something. The difference between 7 and 4, 7 minus 4 is 3. So I have 40 minus 3. I use my number line in my head, counting backwards. 40, take away 3. 39, 38, 37. 37 is our answer for expanded form. Mrs. Marta is going
All right.
on.
I like to do rounding up, and I like to do rounding up because I find that it's the easiest one for me to do in my head. So I check if I can do it the easy way first. I have 8. Can I take away 4? Yes. I have 4. Can I take away 7? No. So I know I need to round up. So I go to the bottom number and I go up to the next 10. And the next 10 after 47 is 50. Now, how do I get from 47 to 50? I add 3. I know that because 7 and 3 are friendly facts. Now we get to the rule, important rule. Whatever you do to the bottom,
you gotta do the top.
Yes, I thought I could hear kids saying that. So I add 3, 84 and 3 is 87. And now I can subtract the easy way. 7 take away 0 is 7. And 8 take away 5 is 3.
So the cool thing I like about rounding up, boys and girls, even though it's not my favorite one, what I really like about rounding up is you take a difficult question and make it into an easy question.
I think that's why I like
The
it.
only thing that's confusing for me with rounding up, and Audrey brought this up this week, for her it looks confusing. Can you talk about the minus 47, Mrs. Marta?
Maybe you should talk about it. 'Cause
Okay,
it's
sure.
Your idea,
Okay.
but not for a long time.
Not for a
just
long time.
For a short time.
You know I can't do that, boys and girls. So Audrey brought up, for her rounding up was very confusing because you have she says you have minus 47 plus 3 equals 50. And that wouldn't make sense because minus 47 plus 3, you would get minus 44. And with rounding up, you got to pretend that you're not looking at the minus just yet.
It's not a negative number.
It's not yet a negative number. So you have to make this your next 10 by adding 3. Well, you do the bottom, do the top, get that, then put your negative right there for minusing and do your minus. Okay, so that's the only confusing part. Okay, so to be honest though, if you gave me an addition question, whether it's 1 digit, 2 digits, 3 digits. No, I'm talking about addition first. Addition, 1 digit, 2 digit, 3 digit, I always do expanded form in my head. Mrs. Mar's doing this because the video is getting long. But with subtraction, I don't do expanded form in my head. I don't do rounding up in my head. I always do adding up, a combination of number line and expanded form. So Oh, I'm breaking our chair, Mrs. Marta.
Oh,
You need to turn it because that part that tips up. Yeah.
Oh, getting strong.
Do not break my chairs.
Okay, 84 minus 47. What I do is I change it to an adding question. I take that 47 and I figure what can I add to 47 to get to 84? So in my head, I don't really draw a number line, but to explain it, I will draw it for you. So I start at 47 and I want to get to 84. I jump. I would like to jump to 87, but it's too high. So I have to jump to 77. To go from 47 to 77, I have to add 30. So we're at 30. I land on 77. You can do this by tens if you wanted to, but my brain already has lots of practice. I jump right away to 30. Then I have to go from 77 to my final jump of 84. And I know that's going to be 7. You can jump that ahead by 3. You can count it by ones, but I know it's 77 plus 7 is 84. Then you add these together, and that gives you a 37. So I add the numbers to get to the top. That's what I always do. Mrs. Marta does not like this strategy. I love it. Mrs. Marta loves this strategy. I'm not a big fan. They're both great. Algorithm, Mrs. Marta, subtraction.
All right. I don't say I don't like that one. I'm just saying it's not my favorite.
I would totally agree with the same with rounding up as well.
All right.
I like it. It's not my favorite.
Algorithm for subtraction. Again, you start on this side, not that side. And I say, I have 4. Can I take away 7?
Can't do it.
And in algorithm, it's pretty bizarre. You don't do a negative number. You do this. Oh, I'll just borrow 1 from over here. So instead of 8 tens, now I have 7 tens. And I'm going to put the 10 here. So now I have 14 take away 7.
Which you can do.
Which is 7. And 7 take away 4. Which is 3. Now this works beautifully. But in math world, when you're trying to do mental math, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Because you can't work backwards.
If you can do it, good for you.
Wonderful. Find what works for you. Okay, this is Marta. It's pinned between the two there. Can you see it?
Yep. We got a lot of paper this time.
Another sheet on subtraction. So let's go right into it, boys and
I
girls.
hope you're still with us with your whiteboard or your paper.
On to expanded form. 74 minus 26. We stacked them in advance. We're in the tens column. So let's put our 0 there for the tens. How many tens do we have remaining? 7 minus 2 is 5. 4 minus 6. Don't have enough to do that. I know it's going to be a negative number now because there's that negative 6 greater value than 4. So now I have to just figure out what's the difference between 6 and 4. Well, 6 minus 4 is 2. So 4 minus 6 is negative 2. Now 50 minus 2 is 48. Rounding up, Mrs. Marta.
All right, so I check if I can do it the easy way. I have 7. Can I take away 2? Yes, I certainly can. I have 4. Can I take 6 away? No. So I have to round up. I round up the bottom number. I want to get it to a nice, easy number to subtract. The next 10 after 26 is 30. How did I get from 26 to 30? Well, I look for the friendly fact of 6, which is 4. Now, whatever I do to the bottom, have to do to the top. So 74 plus 4 is 78, and now I can subtract it the easy way. 8 take away 0, 7 take away 3, 48. Good thing I got the same answer as Mr. Marta.
All right, I'm going to fly through how my brain works with adding up. I want to take 26 and get to 74. Now, like I said, my brain does not draw a number line, but I'll do that to show you how my brain works. I start at 26. I can see I can't jump to 50 more because that would be 76, the number's too high. So I know my first jump is going to be 40. 26 plus 40 is 66. Now I got to get from 66 to my final objective of 74. 66 plus 8 gives me 74. And you can do that by, if you knew 8 plus 6 is 14, 14 plus 60 is 74, or you could go add 4 and then 4 more, or you can count by ones. Regardless, as long as you get that up there, all your digits, add those together, your answer is 48.
All right.
Algorithm. Let me grab that one, Mrs. Marta. I'll fly over there. Switch! You've already done algorithm.
It's my turn.
Okay, that's true.
It's my turn. You can't hog all the math.
I like math, though.
I know. I like math too. You can't hog it all. All right. So I start with 4. I need to take away 6. I can't, so I have to borrow. We call it borrowing. 1 from the tens. That makes this a 6, and I put my 10 over there. Look at it.
Because the 4, when you add 10 to it, becomes 14.
14. So then I go 14, take away 6 is 8, and 6 take away 2 is 4, and I get 48.
So just remind them, Mrs. Marta, algorithm is very fast. Why is it not great to just stick with it?
Because it doesn't help you with mental math or estimating, and if you get it wrong, it's really hard to know.
Watch this, Mrs. Marta. Watch.
Dun, dun, dun.
And here's the good news, boys and girls. You can thank Mrs. Marta for this. She decided on math number 38 on your own, it's only going to be 1 question each, and you don't have to do expanded form, partitioning, adding up, algorithm.
I got you.
You choose whichever one works best for you.
Your favorite strategy.
If you want to do more, you can.
Yep. If you want to do algorithm, what you just learned, give it a
can.
whirl, but
Yeah.
you only have to do 1. Now, if you want to do more, fill your boots. If you like math like we like math and you want to do more, go ahead. But your job is just to do your favorite or 1 strategy for these questions.
But what we don't want to see, and some of the kids started doing it because some of you are getting very good at mental math, boys and
Yeah.
girls, you're writing just the answer.
Yeah.
Show us what your brain did. Did you use expanded form? Did you use partitioning? Did you use adding up? Show us what your brain did.
Yeah, all the way through school, even when you get to university, your teacher is going to say, show me your work, because we want to see what your brain's doing. So whatever your brain's doing, you have to show me on paper.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Rexy next, right?
Rexy time.
All right.
Okay, you've made it to the end, and I've got a Rexy joke for you. What kind of dinosaur goes on an iPad?
What kind of dinosaur goes on an iPad?
An iPadosaurus.
That's pretty good. Hey, and by the way, thanks again for that joke, Owen.
Oh, that's right. That was an Owen joke. We almost forgot to mention his name. Hey, Rexy, what are you watching on the iPad anyway?
Only the best movie ever.
Jurassic Park. Rexy. That is a really good show. Rexy's favorite. Have a good summer, boys and girls. Or should we say,
Have a good summer, boys and girls.